Goat Productions.
Duck, 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 duck! Duck, 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 duck! Welcome to the pub! Grab a drink and shut the door! Step inside, take a seat, yeah, you made it through the door. Welcome to the pub, hear the crowd begin to roar. Laughter loud, drinks are strong, and the takes are bold. Pull up close, you're just in time for the stories to unfold. Raise it up, take a sip, let the chaos begin. You're in the pub now, time to dive right in. Oh, welcome to the pub tonight, where the stories get twisted and the jokes take flight. From the courtroom drama to the YouTube fights, we're breaking it down till it all feels right. Oh, don't blink, don't miss the show. Grab a drink, find a seat, let the good times flow. If it's wild, if it's weird, yeah, you already know. Just calling it out, let's go, let's go. Got the panel lit up and the chat on fire. Step up to the bar, takes a climbing higher. From the trolls to the tales that don't quite add up. Better bring receipts or get laughed out the pub. Spit it, flip it, truth gets tested. Half these stories highly questionable. Laugh it off or take a stand. Either way, welcome to the land. Oh, welcome to the pub tonight, where the truth gets sharpened in the spotlight bright. Every rumor, every claim, every online fight, we're tearing it down with a grin and a bite. One more round, here we go. Raise your glass, let the whole world know. Kick it off, turn it up, steal the show. Now, let's get to the story. Duck, 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 duck.
Welcome to the show. Let's get to the story.
And hello, everybody. How's everyone doing? This is fine Sunday afternoon. I had a crazy day yesterday afternoon. I knew it would be crazy, and when my wife told me what she wanted to do for the day, and I said, okay, well, I'll postpone the show till today. And we went and had a full day of it. You can say I went out and touched grass. Just had a very, very interesting day altogether. And we already have someone in the panel to join us, and that would be Wally. Hey, Wally. Yeah, he's still muted. I'll give him a second.
How you doing, Doc?
I'm doing well. Doing well. Just was saying about how I went out, touched grass yesterday, and just kind of just had a good day, just being out for a while, not worrying about the YouTube drama and all that good stuff.
Sounds like a really good day.
It was a really good day. Really, really good day. Twiggy, you're absolutely right. Happy wife, happy life. And so, yeah, sometimes you just have to do that. You just have to say, you know what, YouTube's not that important. I mean, I know that's a foreign concept to some channel creators, but yeah, you just have to say that, and then go from there. Oh, now Wally, guess what I did not do yesterday, though?
Oh, what was that?
I did not randomly walk up to women that I don't hardly know and ask them if they want to see my penis.
Doesn't everyone do that?
I guess so. I don't know. Apparently, I'm creepy, but the same individual that says that did that in North Carolina, allegedly. Although I will say this, the eyewitness of that event would be, I would believe that he's very accurate with that. and that's just the way I'd see it. Yeah, I have not yet seen him intentionally trying to mislead anybody. So,
Well, you know what they say, size is relative. So I guess if you're small, something small could be big to you, something like that.
maybe I don't know. I don't know. I'm just going to just say that, and that's kind of what we're going to dive into a little bit. And quite frankly, what I had planned this morning kind of got changed a little bit when I watched Secret's live stream from last night. Like I said, when I had a busy day, and when about 8 o'clock, I was exhausted, and I did not worry about YouTube again at all, not one little bit. So I listened to Secret's live stream this morning, and she had Doc Scrolls on her channel, and I'm like, this guy's saying things that we kind of seen as unprofessional, and he's a professional. He's seen some stuff. It gives a great explanation. I thought we would replay that segment, maybe go into our little details, but I just want to touch a little bit about what I was going to. And Professor Chaos is in the house. You doing all right, sir?
Doing okay.
That's great. That's great. So we're just starting our little discussion. But what I was explaining was that we're going to really cover a little more on the Secrets live stream with Doc Scrolls when he was on the panel. I thought what he did, what he was saying, kind of helped us out better to understand all kinds of stuff. And it's one of those things that sometimes it's just good to play it so we can see it and hear it. Maybe putting our little 2 cents in. It's kind of hard to put your 2 cents in when you're talking. The person that's speaking is actually someone that does it for a living. I had sent out an invitation to one particular individual. I was hoping that he would see it. Problem with planning your show 4 or 5 hours ahead of time, people may not see the email or the message until a little bit too late. So, hey, Naybell, how you doing? So, yes, we're going to primarily focus on that. But we want to point out something, and let's see if you guys kind of caught that. Here lately, we've been hearing Todd talk about people being demons. Would you guys agree with that assessment?
Yes. I'm not going to speak Latin, but I was going to do something smartass by speaking Latin backwards, but sure.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Wally?
Well, I do believe in demons, but I don't think that anyone here is an expert on that. At least the people that are talking about it know anything about the criteria. So I take that with a grain of salt.
Okay. And did you hear the question, or did you just came in? I know you just came in, but did you hear the question before you got in?
No, I was lurking, but I probably missed something in transition. I heard you saying about people not getting the emails, so I didn't know if you were talking about me.
Well, not talking about you. There's one person that when we get into the meat and potatoes of this conversation that I was hoping that would be able to be here. Actually, there was 2 people, but one person that we are going when we get into the meat and potatoes.
So what was the question?
The question was, we've heard him heard Todd lately talking about people being possessed with demons, people being demons, that kind of thing. And basically, you've heard that, right? You've heard him doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, the freaky thing, because he'd been calling people demons for a long time, but when I realized that he actually believes he sees them, that's scary.
Mm. And and one thing I noticed is always anyone that disagrees with him that he says are the demons.
And mostly women.
Oh yes, that is true. That is true. I was going with a broad statement. Yes, anyone that's against him, he says the demon's saying, yes, you're absolutely right. Now think about it. It seems like he does focus on the women more than the men. So scary. You're absolutely right. It's scary. It's scary. I mean, this is supposed to be a strong Christian man, but do we remember what he said about Angel when we found out she was in the hospital?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And what did she do? What did he do in the same breath? Hey, how you doing? Well, don't tell Buxter that because he'll go to his head.
What can I do?
Okay. I got a good sound guy over there. Yeah. But that's in the same breath, he started doing a prayer. I would say the first initial comments were his true feelings. The prayer was just probably was his way of trying to make him save little face. Like he figured out, oh shit, people's going to chew me out, tear me up for that one. So which is why I always feel it's not just those instances that we talk about, but I always feel that he was hypocritical, and I always felt to keep a little distance with him. But I've kind of started seeing that side of him. So the thing that the thing really gets me is how he loves to call people creeps, people certain sexual orientation or sexual preferences, or maybe how they might prefer people of certain age. And it's all the time with him. It's almost like as if he's trying to tell us something about himself. And we know about the part of North Carolina stories was that apparently he was trying to show his penis to a woman or two while he was there. And Muxer, would you believe I came across a video of it?
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah, I came across a video.
Don't show us the video of Todd's Mr. Todd. I don't need no, please.
Well, I actually have the video of him asking a woman if she wants. Okay, so here it is. Here it is, guys. Here it is.
You didn't require a magnifying lens then.
Yeah, here's the video, guys. Here's the video.
Do you want to see my pee-pee? You're out of your nerner.
There we go. There's the video.
That's exclusive.
Yeah, an exclusive. That was a reenactment of what we believe may have happened on that particular day in North Carolina.
I think that reenactment may be more factual than TB's reenactment of amateur.
I'll take that.
A while ago, he was using that avatar of some kind of stupid looking cartoon bird, and he liked to say, "You want to see my pecker?" I mean, it's like he's a fucking 12-year-old.
Agreed.
I would not disagree with that assessment at all.
Higher, he's 12. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and not one little bit. So it's just kind of like I just still can't figure out. Maybe someone can help me out here. Other than maybe a medical situation, how can an adult male tell almost asking a complete stranger? I say almost because maybe they've been talking for a little bit that day. If she wants to see his penis, how does that come up in normal conversations? I just can't figure that one out.
That's what they do in the military. That's what they did for Todd. Todd, you want to see it?
Well, I'm glad you said that, Professor Chaos. So I know I've mentioned it a couple times. I don't talk about my military career, which was basically National Guard. Okay, part-time
did you
help. That's
learn how
basically the best way to describe it. Huh?
attire in the military? Like, you would learn that, like, day one. Like, okay, here's how to change a tire on a Humvee. If you're ever in your civilian vehicle, you can
That
make do with these tools. Bingo,
yeah,
bango.
yeah. You are taught that when you start learning how to when you get your GOV license in the military. But one of the during basic training, this story kind of comes to my mind because I think of this is something Todd would do. We had a fracturization class. Basically, to sum the class up to a degree, is you don't talk to Molly, you don't interact with Molly unless it's anything basically about military. Molly being the female soldier. That particular day, the the female company within the battalion was doing KP. And for some odd reason, I can't remember what we did. Quite frankly, it probably was nothing really. It was just the way drill sergeants do things. Drill sergeants were extra pissed with us, and they were marching us back, saying, "Yeah, we're going to smoke your asses after meal, after your dinner, heat up because you're going to need those calories. You're going to burn them off." It's basically threatening to smoke our butts. Well, we had this one dumbass who tried to slip a female soldier a letter. It was caught by her drill sergeant. Guys, do you want to know what it said?
I'm intrigued.
Yeah. It said, "Hey, babe, do you want to F? Well, do you want to fuck?" And oh my God, that you talking about the shit hitting the fan? The shit hit the fan for that guy. I remember when someone told us what happened in our platoon. We're like, "Oh fuck!" And they are pissed with us now. We're gonna really get it now. No, we did not get any punishment. We were told to get out of the way, and they smoked that one guy. Made him run up down the barracks and smoked him the whole night. So yeah, but when I think about Todd, and the penis story, somehow I can see Todd being that guy in this basic training platoon. That guy that don't talk to Molly, but yet he'll do something stupid and try to pass a note to Molly asking if she wants to F.
Yeah, Todd wouldn't have had to do that because he had his imaginary biracial girlfriend.
Maybe. I'm just, like I said, that's just kind of how I see it. And then there's this another guy who's going around, created a new hashtag 308rabbit. Now, Buckster, I know you talked about it a little bit last night or yesterday, not too long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. How we determined if it was supposed to be about time that a certain phone call was made, or was it? Because I heard it was about time. Someone else said that they thought it might have been about a bullet round. Anyways, he's trying to play. That individual's playing games with it, and if it's about a time that a certain phone call was made, I'm just going to say this: do you not think the investigators did take a look at Rabbit's phone history that particular day and saw that call at 308 and knew exactly where he was when that call was made at 308? I mean, I know it's a small town, small local community law enforcement agency, but they kind of know some things, how to do certain things. Just my thoughts. So, thoughts, gentlemen?
The way it was written, it was pound 308, I believe.
Yeah.
And what was that? An area code, maybe? It could be anything.
Yeah, it could be area code. Someone said it was a time. Apparently, they said that Rabbit made a call at 308. Might have been a pocket dial or something like that.
I'm not going to play
be.
detective here.
Yeah,
I don't know all the information, and I'm not stupid enough to think I do.
yeah.
Unlike
I'm
certain
just
other people, they just
yeah,
draw wild assumptions and put it on people, and they have no clue themselves.
and just out of curiosity, what is the area code 2308? I'm going to look it up
Oh, no,
right
but
now.
Dove said that tyrants be stupid. Asked where Rabbit was at 3:08 the day Andrea died.
Okay, yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I'm saying. The police would they're anytime you have a case like that, you're going to eliminate the spouse as quickly
Oh
as
yeah,
possible because that person is the number one suspect. And
yeah.
just out of curiosity, 308 area code is in the Nebraska area. So
Well, yeah,
uh,
but the thing is, you got your Todd and your Finkel and your Writer and your Jism and your Tyrants Beware and your GT. They're on the case because obviously, the sheriffs, the SBI, none of them thought to like listen to the 911 calls or,
mhm.
just to look at the scene and figure out where things were. So I think it's, these guys are providing a service to us all because, they are obviously so much fucking smarter than the professionals.
So much more smarter than even the medical examiner. So much more
Yeah.
smarter than the attorneys about laws. So much smarter than police investigators who have been doing it for years, who have
Yep.
solved crimes like that before in their lifetime, who has worked cases similar to Andrea's in their lifetime and has ruled one way or another. So, but yeah, they're definitely much smarter.
Finkel.
And
Finkel's been on this whole flip flop thing lately where, everybody else flip flops on things and he evolved. And one of the things he said, well, that convinced him was when he saw the evidence.
what
What
evidence?
fucking, yeah, the evidence, to me, the evidence is the medical examiner writing self inflicted on line 12 or whatever it was. And
Right.
these guys are sitting there, to them, the evidence is the things they're imagining that they hear in the 911 call. And God, they drive me nuts.
Yeah. Yes. And you know what? Dub's exactly right. Rabbit, like all of us, is not perfect, but not being perfect doesn't make you an unaliver.
Yeah.
And absolutely, and like I said, we all are not perfect. Not one little bit. Oh, okay. Let's see what does Control Delete have to add to the lunacy. Uh, see what he has to add to it, and after that, we'll jump into that live stream from last night. You were there, right, Buckster?
Yeah.
Yeah. Quite frankly, I'm just while we're waiting for him to add to the cat
Well,
Control Delete. I just
you
yeah.
have to understand though, Jerry thinks a caveat is a dessert dish.
I'm waiting for that dessert dish too. Now, come on now. But I will say this: I was listening, and I hear Secret start talking about saying, "Hey, Doc." And I'm like, "Wait a minute! I was asleep when this thing was on. I'm not in the chat. What's going on here? What's going on here?" So she's got, "Hey, come on up, Doc. Was that girl high or something?" That's what happens when you're kind of doing other things and you're just listening as you're working. You're just not realizing what's going on until you finally look at the chat and go, "Oh, there's a guy named in there named Doc Scrolls." Okay, cool.
I
It's a
have the same
debate.
confusion though. They call Wally
Uh
from
huh.
somewhere else, and people call me Wally, so I never know if they're talking about me or someone else.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, that's a good point. Ethically, no detective would investigate a case with a personal bias. And in most cases, you're right on that one. I will say this: someone I've see as reliable. Wally, you and I had lunch with that particular individual recently. Uh, just so you know who I'm talking about. But I won't say her name at this time. If she ever wants to come up and back say this, I'll be greatly appreciative. But I'm not going to put it out there. But this individual said that she had spoke to the police investigator who admitted he did not like Rabbit much, but he also knows that he did not commit the crime, and that's just me paraphrasing what she said. And so, in the small town department, yeah, that's true. You might have that type of situation where they might know a little bit more about the person that's involved, the victim, the suspect, that kind of thing. And I do think that, if I remember correctly, you must have got kicked, Wally. But if I remember correctly, the SBI did step in to help with the investigation. So it was not just the sheriff's department. Okay. So Wally, did you get kicked? Did you get a little kicked out there for a moment? Okay, we still got him muted. So either he's having technical issues or whatever. Guys, you hear me, right?
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me? Okay, good. And we do have a gifted membership from Peace Dynamo. One gifted membership. And let me put that down here. Let me see who it went to.
Naybell.
Naybell got okay. Naybell, welcome to the club. And Peace Dynamo, thank you for the gifted membership. I would say that yes. Of course, you know what we like to do over here when someone gives a super chat or gifted membership. Well, we like to do this. And of course, for the gifted membership. Yeah, apparently I'm going to have to find something that the ladies like too. Guys enjoy the yay, but they don't enjoy, the women do not enjoy the yay as much. Peace Dynamo. All right, I'll see what I can do for y'all. I think we can probably come up with something. Actually, I do have a bar manager that I called Sean. I had him up one time. It didn't go over too well, but I think I might redo Sean a little bit and make, and maybe you guys might meet him in maybe a month or so after August 29th. We have to wait. We'll have to wait until after August 29th because that event is taxing. It's doing all the planning with the media that I'm creating for it, the logistics stuff and all that kind of stuff. It's taxing, but it's going to be a fun event. If you receive an invitation and you're planning to make it, please email me. Do not say anything about it in the chat, and that would be appreciative. But what's going on August 29th, you may ask? Well, this is what's going on. So, yes, we're going to be on the road, and we will have a live stream in front of a live audience. It's going to be a fun time. I'm sure everyone will enjoy. That we'll be there, and we're going to find a way for those who can't be there to enjoy the show as well. So, Mugster, what do you think about the Doc on the Road event?
Well, I think it's a little insulting to call this audience dead.
Okay. Give Muckster an inch, crack the door a little bit, and he's going to slam right through it, right, Muckster? All right. Maybe we'll be announcing more information about that as we get closer to the event. For
How
a
long?
couple reasons.
How long is that?
Uh,
How long is that drive going to be?
it's going to be a little bit of a drive. Let's just say that.
I'm just imagining being cooped up in a vehicle with swag.
Well, no, Swag's not driving me. I have the waitresses are driving me,
Uh,
or I'm driving them. You know, we'll take turns. So yeah, and you know, Maeve, the redhead, she's a pretty good driver. Raleigh, she's pretty organized. She's our trivia person. Maria, our beer expert, and Becky, the blonde, she's our whiskey expert. So, yeah, we're going to be riding the van together to get to the live event. All right, so let's get to the live stream from last night. Are you guys ready? Man, Wally, you okay over there, buddy? I'm sorry, Buckster.
Doing fine, Doc.
Okay, this is sad. Doc doesn't know this is our AI.
Oh, you know what I was picturing, Candace? I was picturing him explaining to the cop, well, the redhead was driving.
Oh, you know, have you ever watched Archer, Buck?
No.
Okay, animated series, basically about a fictional spy organization. Main character's name Sterling Archer, but they had their mad scientist guy that kind of invented new weapons and stuff. Well, basically, he married an AI projector anime lady. So that kind of I kind of have that image in my mind now. Thanks a lot, Candace. Hey, Wallace, you have anything you want to answer to Aaron about with what he just said, or do you see his comment?
I didn't see his comment.
He says he always agree with him in Discord.
He must be a pretty smart guy, huh?
He thinks he is.
Actually, more of a creepy guy.
Yeah. But, well, so let's get playing this live stream here.
100% sick and disgusting venture that these individuals are engaged in.
Another thing is that I've just lost my question. Somebody, I don't remember. When it comes, so you've been kind of updated in a little bit. And you haven't really heard. They spent 10 separate live streams going over the 911 call and scrutinizing anything and everything that was said, and taking pleasure in it. Like you can just see. I don't know, you haven't watched.
No, I don't watch generally specific.
But when it comes to,
so one thing I did want to interrupt right about there. Yeah, there seemed to be a little bit of enjoyment with that crowd when we watched them when they were reviewing that 911 call. At least I thought I saw it. Jess, do you agree with that assessment? Do you disagree? Do you think there might have been? What do you think?
That's one of the things that disgusted me is they seem to be sitting there just loving Rabbit's pain.
I would say I had an image of them salivating while they were watching it
I
or
I
listening to it.
actually I couldn't even watch. I think I watched like half the first one, and
Hmm.
after that, like even when somebody else would be showing, if the, doing clips, if it was
Right,
going to be the 911, I would mute until it looked like it was done. I couldn't
right.
stand to listen to it. And those guys just sat there and they were just taking it all in and loving it. Something wrong with them.
I would agree with that. Here's what got me was when they started suggesting what Rabbit was doing to her.
Yes.
What kind of sick, creepy mind goes there, Todd? Seriously, that was the creepiest thing I could did ever heard someone say. And you get that's I thought like that never came to my mind. I would dare
And
mention it never came to your all's minds neither.
Todd said, I'm not the one who said that. No, but they said it
No,
on
but you
your
agree with
channel and
it.
you sat right there and didn't go, oh no, that's over the line.
Yeah, exactly, Todd. You let anyone that agrees with you talk and say anything at all, and then you agree with them. I heard you agreeing with what was that guy's name again? Carney.
Yeah.
He agreed with him. Didn't say no. I don't hear that. No, I didn't disagree. No, didn't shut it down. And it's what he does on the show. He pretty much lets anyone who he agrees with do whatever the heck they want to, and to the point that they are starting to put his channel at risk. And that's okay, Todd. You can keep on doing that. There's not going to be people trying to, what's the word I'm looking for? Trying to sabotage your channel. You're doing it on your own with the help of your so-called friends. It's going to happen sooner or later. Yeah, unless you find a way to change what you're doing. And that means police it up. Quit letting Ryder act like he's in charge of your channel. He is not in charge of your channel. Put him in his place. If he tries to take over, you put him in the basement and say, no, this is my channel. You're here as my guest. Please act accordingly. I would do that to any three of y'all while we're in my channel. Muxer, I would imagine you would do that to me if I was in your channel.
Yep.
And that's, but thing is, so I'm looking at the 4 names on this screen right now. And the one thing I would say is we have a respect for each other, where we would not intentionally try to do something to hurt the other one's channel. And that's, whereas we don't see that from, well, at least from Ryder. And I seriously don't see it from Todd.
I think that's
Hey,
part of the reason Ryder's been spending so much time at Todd's is because he's spewing all that bullshit that he's afraid to do on his own channel.
and that's the thing I see too. He's not doing it on his channel. He's doing it on Todd's. If anyone's going to get punished, it's going to be Todd. Todd can sit there and say, well, it was someone else that said it. Yes, but Todd, you are the person responsible for it. You're the person who has to end it. So,
There's something like that, if scrutinizing anything and everything that was said, and taking pleasure in it, like you can just see. I don't know, you haven't
Horrible.
watched.
No,
many
I don't
of it.
watch. I don't watch generally specific.
But when it comes to something like that, how would you approach someone who isn't seeing what they're doing? And not even just, we're not just talking about Mester, we're talking about anybody, is that if you see someone who is not grasping reality, how do you help them? How do you kind of get them to, look inside and go, whoa, what I'm doing is really disgusting?
in secret, that was a beautiful question she asked. And obviously, I want to hear what the expert says, but I'm just curious, Buster, how would you get the person who's not seeing reality finally seeing it? What would you do?
Personally, if I talk to them and it's not getting through, I give up on them.
See, I'm thinking about the scene from Airplane. You know, where that lady's having a little
Uh,
fit, and everyone's lining up to shake her and slap her. Okay, that's a joke, guys. That's a joke.
my energy would be spent on the husband, brother, father, whoever that just lost somebody.
Right.
I wouldn't care about the asshole that doesn't know what they're talking about.
Okay. Very good point. Very good point. I was seeing the question more on if the person was a little bit closer to you on a more personal level, family member, that kind of thing. But yes,
but they were kind of talking about Todd and those people.
Yeah.
But the if it's like a family member and they're not seeing reality, there's nothing really you can do except just kind of support them until it gets through it. I mean, Scrolls will be kind of talking about that more later because I asked him about what do you do for the survivors, and it's like you cannot really convince people of anything at the time. You can try to talk to them some, but they got to work through it on their own.
They do have to work, but getting them to a point where they see it is where it boils down to. But let's see what the good doctor says.
Well, it's low-hanging fruit, right? Like somebody who takes their own life leaves a lot of questions unanswered, and it's an easy way to try to demonize your enemies. It's the wrong thing to do. It's morally reprehensible. In these circumstances, a lot of enemies become friends. They become connected. And if you don't have compassion for somebody who lost somebody very important to them and they're struggling, it's absolutely absurd. We can't listen to phone calls and determine what's going on. We don't know the state of mind of the person who found the other person. We don't know if they are struggling themselves and they're angry because they felt the other person took an easy way out. And all of these things are completely reasonable emotions. There's no unreasonable emotion at all when you find somebody you actually care for and you actually love who has taken their own life. There's no reasonable emotion because the very first thing that you're going to feel and you're going to experience is this my fault? Is this something that I did that I did? Did I cause this by that time I raised my voice? That time I wasn't understanding of something that they did? There is zero reason to go through and demonize the people who are left behind. And if the police can't find a reason, or if the police can't find something to pin on somebody, as we all know, they're going to do it. And so if you're speculating on somebody else committing this crime, you've made a grave moral error. You've now put yourself in between that person and whatever judgment you think they have coming, and that's on you.
Let me ask you this.
Oh, go ahead, Maxter. Yeah.
What can friends do to help the survivor?
That's an amazing question. The survivors, and particularly the closest one to the departed, they are absolutely completely going to go through a huge emotional cycle. Anger, we talk about the bargaining cycle, right? The cycle of grief. So we have anger, denial, bargaining, acceptance, all and it's 5 stages. And forgive me, it's I don't remember all of those stages because the actual study that was conducted is on somebody who's dying themselves. That cycle is not for the people who are left behind. And when people dig into that research, they'll see that specific linear pattern occurs only in the people who are diagnosed with terminal illnesses, which is what I specialize in, not the people who are left behind or the people who are dealing with grief from that loss. For everyone else, it's completely random. And you're going to see, if you really, really, really find somebody who's in that circumstance where the person that they love most on this earth has taken their own life, the only thing that we can do is continually check in on them. They're not going to be active in trying to reach out for help. They need people who are just going to be there and to open the door and to say, hey, look, we need you right now. Like, we need you. We need you. And that's the connection is with that person. And to avoid being connected with the departed, to avoid being connected to the situation itself, that person is facing that every single day, and they're facing questions in their own mind that you can never, ever answer for them.
And the other one is depression.
So I find that answer, that question, A+ on the question. I mean, seriously, what can we do to help the family members that's going through this? And that answer is so good. And my little way of seeing it is, what would I want done if I was in those shoes? And then I would try to do that for myself. Yes, a lot of times people will not ask for help when they need it, especially when people are going through this. I can probably be one of the most stubborn people there is as far as asking for help. But granted, it's all right to ask for help, but sometimes you just have to be the person that approaches the individual that needs the help and say, hey, you want to go do something? You want to go catch a movie? You want to go grab dinner? You want to do something? And try to be part of that person's life as much as you can. Just even reaching out by text and say, hey, you doing all right?
That's what I was going to say. You don't want to try to push the help on people. You just go over and be like, hey, you want to have a cup of coffee? Whatever. And if they want to start talking, then good, let them talk, let them get, because
let it get out.
People asking for help, first of all, you feel like you're weak, oh, they're going to, and also people are going through all this shit, like he said, you feel guilt and stuff. That's like the very first thing. It's like, oh my God, I never did call him back last week.
Right.
And
yes,
I really liked pretty much everything he had to say because, well, same stuff I've been saying for last couple months. But anyway, you cannot, this is, I'm repeating stuff, but I know you have people here who haven't heard it. You can't sit around trying to diagnose why somebody did it.
No,
it wasn't because his girlfriend broke up with him. It wasn't because he lost his job. I mean, that stuff might have been like a catalyst or something, but that's not
right.
the reason.
No,
and you're never really going to know the reason. So you got to just be there for the people they left behind. Anyway.
Yeah. And Billy, was it your birthday party or someone's in your family's birthday party or just a random birthday party? There's a reason why I'm asking that, Billy. So let me know. All right.
He was just driving down the street and saw a bunch of balloons tied to a mailbox.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, free cake.
And you know what? Thank you, MC Daily Gaff. 741-741 and 988. You can text. Veterans, welcome to the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. If you are a veteran or a military service member, you may text the Veterans Crisis Line directly at 838-255. And there's another number too about for crisis as well. And that's aimed for everyone in general, not just vets. But something that Dr. Scroll says, something I've always known about, 22 a day. That number is very, very important. You remember why that number is important, Buckster?
Is that how many vets a day?
How many vets a day decide that's it for them?
Yep.
And hey, little bully, how you doing? As you can see, for every $20 I get in donations, I will take a swig of scotch. When we get to $50, I will get some moonshine. So, all right. So yes, that's when it's sad. It's sad that it happens. It really is. And the biggest thing we can do is learn how to recognize it, but at the same time, not push the person to help. Push it because you push too hard, you're only pushing them away. You have to find a way to get them where they can get the help. Luckily, Minnie, Stace, and Dr. Scholes, and Retired Crop's here. Hey, Retired Crop, how you doing? I hope you're doing well today. But you have to find a way to get the help. Problem is, sometimes, you know what? The most depressed people also seem to be the most happiest people.
Yeah, they put on a show for everybody.
Yeah, they're putting on the show. Mr. Thomas, how you doing? And yeah, they're putting on a show for everybody. Good example, Robin Williams.
Yep.
Yes. That was one guy that you would think he's had to be one of the happiest guys, but no, he had some demons in him. He had some demons. So
Yeah,
this is
besides that, he's also the perfect example of, take away the fact that, he was a clown. He had money, he had a family, so it just shows you can't be sitting there thinking what caused it. It's just something inside the person. One thing I think it was before where you picked this up, something I learned finally is why it is that antidepressants so often say on them may, give suicidal tendencies or whatever. And he explained how antidepressants can actually be bad for someone because if you're really depressed, you kind of don't have the energy to follow through on your thoughts. You give them an antidepressant, it gives them the energy to go, oh, okay, yeah, I'm going to go drive off a cliff now. It's a weird thing.
and yes, absolutely. So we do have a $20 super chat from the little bully, and she's advising me to go ahead and drink up. So let me go ahead and pour me a little bit of scotch. There we go. Got that poured, ready to go. And I'm drinking it neat this evening. I'm sorry.
I can't tell. Is Wally still here?
Wally, are you with us still, sir?
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay. So that's that $20 is split 4 ways then, right?
Well, Wally provided the moonshine that when we get to the $50 mark, that's what I'm drinking. Wally's moonshine. I mean, out of context, that sounded wrong. All right. Good stuff.
I kind of wanted to add a little bit to what Muxted said earlier. Ask them out for a cup of coffee or something to let them talk. A lot of times, they don't want to go anywhere because they're depressed. And I think a lot of friends of mine, I just called them and says, look, I'm here for you whenever you need. Want me to come over 3 a.m? I'll get my car and come over and we'll sit down and talk. And don't force yourself on them, but just let them know that you're available anytime they need you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Exactly. Let them know that you're there for them. And once they're ready for that help, get them to the right people that can help them. They can only do but so much for them. And even the professionals can only do so much for them. They also have to want the help as well. Gentlemen, are y'all ready to keep going? Professor Chaos, you got anything to add there, buddy? And he's pushing the buttons, keeping us in line, but not paying attention to what I'm saying. But before we do that, before we keep going, I do have to do this. I know you guys are going to be disappointed.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is he here?
Who?
Okay, it's not what I thought you were going to do. Carry on.
And no, I think I know who you're talking about, but we know wherever he is at, he is talking. So here we'll play this.
Shut up, swag!
That's who you're talking about, right?
Yeah, close enough.
Okay. Or did you like? Wait a minute. Where did I still have that one on here? Yes, I do. Or did you like this one better?
GS freaking Christ, shut the fuck up, swag.
Anytime people tell swag to shut up, it's good.
Even there are AI. And speaking of which, why don't we do a quick promo and break and play this while I take a nice finish off my last little bit of my scotch and drink some water.
Hey Riley, what are you up to? I'm shopping at Doc La News.
Go gurgle some more meth, bitch!
Okay, I did not do that.
Hey Riley, what are you up to? I'm shopping at Doc La News merch store. They've got hats, t-shirt, hoodies, mugs, and that's just the beginning.
Oh, I need that shirt!
Really?
Absolutely! Swag never stays quiet long enough for me to tell everyone about the drink special.
I can fix that.
Now that was fast!
You can find all the latest merchandise Doc La News merch store. Just visit doclanewmerchprintfy.me.
Come grab your favorite before swag talks over me again.
Beaky don't love me no more.
Never did, swag. Shut up, swag!
All right. Does that make you feel good, Muckster?
That was a good one.
Yeah, it ain't perfect, but my gosh, I think it works. It gets the message out.
Well,
There's room to improve. Let's put it that way. And we'll be improved down the road. It's just my focus right now is on the August 29th event. So obviously I don't want to spend too much time fixing little things with promos that work as is. But I will fix them because that's just me. I like you, so I'm telling you, those girls are not. Why Candace? They're not real.
you know what I learned in advertising class?
What's that?
Do you know what the difference between a good commercial and a bad commercial is?
What's that?
A good commercial, you remember the product.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, that makes sense.
You know, you can have you have commercials with all this great, they're funny and, there's stuff going on, but if an hour later you can't remember what the commercial is about, but there's another commercial, you go, that sucked. But if that product sticks in your mind, then for the next couple of days, that was a good commercial. So I
was going to say, let's think about the product like the clapper.
Yeah.
Remember the clap? Clap on, clap off, the clapper.
Yep.
That product has not been around for decades, and I remember the theme song still.
So that's why I think that was a good commercial, because I think people are going to remember you have merch.
Yes, and plus, and that works nicely. And Wally got kicked. He must be having some issues on his end. Wait a minute.
He's gone again. Yeah.
I need to drop off my 2-year-old. Okay, gotcha. I got that one, that private chat, back chat. Okay. So yeah, just want to make sure I did not miss any super chats there. But where were we? We were just talking about what was being said by Dr. Scrolls By the
Yep.
way, I really was hoping that what I'm going to try to do is reach out to Roger RWR and Dr. Scrolls and see if I can get them both on one day, because I think that discussion would be awesome. I'm sure me and Sigrid are probably competing for that one.
Which is the
Yeah,
one
that would
I
be an awesome
I
show.
deal
Two
with.
professionals.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, as opposed to all these chat GPT psychologists and lawyers that are out there.
I like that idea. I like that. I think I can make a commercial out of that just for fun of it. Little Bully, that's kind of in my middle notes. Probably not this month, but probably maybe next month or the month after that. Yeah, we'll have the clapper to make people just shut the clap up. I like that idea. That's where I get the ideas. People saying something like that. It's funny. It's humorous, but how can I make it funny, or how can I make it really humorous? How can I bring it to light? You know?
Exactly. So in the world of mental health, let me also talk about my particular specialty. I work with chronic and severe medical anxiety, so people who are scared to go to the doctor. I'm currently writing a book. I won't say what the topic is. I'm sure you'll all read it when it's published, or at least it will probably be in the awareness of most of you when it is published.
It'll probably be something that they'll have us read in hospice.
It actually probably will be, because the concept of suicide is often viewed as a severe product of depression, and in my experience, people who are depressed, they end their lives in a very justifiable way, and there's very little aftermath like this. The reality is that a vast majority of people who commit suicide suffer from extreme anxiety disorders. They're terrified, they're afraid of the world. People who are depressed often don't have the energy to kill themselves. They're often subject to the medical community. They have hospice doctors, and in those circumstances, people are often given the tools, and they have been in jurisdictions where there is not assisted suicide. There's not compassionate end of life acts. Those people often get excessive doses of morphine while they are under hospice. They beg for it, as any hospice nurse probably knows. It's a topic that occurs frequently and often. If it's a family member who delivers that fatal dose of a central nervous system depressant that suppresses the breathing of an already inhibited person of breathing, and they pass, they live with immense shame and guilt, even though it was the right thing to do, even though they believe, and I'm sure Mester, with his intense religious beliefs, probably doesn't view it that way. But I can assure every single person that there is no person that the topic I just talked about has not touched.
Yeah, and in hospice.
So, kind of just let me add this part right here too. I honestly don't think Mister understands religion, Christianity religion at that. If he did, he would not be doing half the shit he's doing right now. And I'm not talking about the cursing. No, I'm talking about the speculations he's making, the whatever I can do to make that buck mindset. As I go on this live stream, saying, "Hey, I'll drink if you give me money," but even then, there's a line with that on my end. Whereas it seems with him, he almost holds his audience as a hostage to get more super chats. Let's see what's just but religiously speaking, the way I view my view of Christianity is you try to live the best life as you can and be an example of a good person. Am I perfect? Oh, good Lord, I know I'm not. No one in this panel, no one in this audience, no one on this planet is perfect. The only person, Jesus is as a Christian, I only believe Jesus was perfect.
And he had his moments.
He had his moments, yeah, but even then, that's kind of how I was raised. How I grew up in the religious viewpoints. As a Catholic, and I became a Catholic as an adult, not I was not raised as a Catholic. Uh, the best way they describe, like, Mary, Jesus' mother, has a special relationship with the Catholic Church, because the way the Catholic Church sees is, if think about it like a field with holes, pitfalls, and that kind of stuff. When you fall in, Jesus will always be there to bring the ladder and let you back out. With Mary, she's never going to fall in because Jesus is there to keep her from falling. Because that's the kind of relationship Jesus had with Mary. Now, I feel good knowing that if I ever fall into one of those holes, Jesus is there to let me out, and all I have to do is ask for it. Okay, I don't want to get too religious. I don't with the live stream, but that's just I just thought that might be a kind of way I want to explain how I see things. Gentlemen, do you have anything you want to add to that?
Well, not to that, but I was thinking as this was going, as watching this, I doubt if there's anybody here in this chat that really values Finkel's opinion, but in case there is, or somebody watches this, we were hardly off the air last night, and Finkel already was putting up a video to let everybody
Mhm.
know how stupid this was. And in that video, he started off by saying that Doc Scrolls said that he is licensed in 2 states and that he helps with assisted suicide. And he goes, neither one of those states is it legal there. Well, 30 seconds of Google shows you the California assisted suicide law. Then today he did another one, and he started off by saying that Doc Scrolls was obviously a big fake because the specialty he mentioned, and I forget exactly what it all was now, but he said it's not even a real specialty. It doesn't exist. Again, if you watched Finkel and you tend to believe him, 30 fucking seconds on Google will show you that the specialty he mentioned is right there on the American Psychiatry Association's website as a specialty. And I
Yes.
just wanted to throw that out there for people.
Well,
Yeah.
it all comes down to, the difference between an intelligent person and a dumbass. An intelligent person knows what he doesn't know. A dumbass thinks he knows everything.
A very, very good point on both from both individuals. Wally, very good point. Buckster, very good point. Let me add another thing. Question really toward Buckster, because you probably know Vinkel better than anyone around here.
I thought I did.
Yeah. Is it? I heard accusations or allegations that he did not finish high school. Do you know whether that's true or not?
Oh no, he had always freely said that he got a GED to be able
Okay.
to go into the service.
Okay. Right. Yeah, it's because we were also hearing the same rumors about Todd Bryant too. But
Well, Todd claims that he quit high school, but then went back, and now the thing I've heard people mention is he finished in a different high school, that he actually graduated from high school in Massachusetts. If that's true, I got to wonder why exactly he left the school he was at in Connecticut, where he grew up.
before we really go into any kind of craziness on that one, I will talk about something specific about me. When I was the summer between my junior and senior year, my family moved from North Carolina to South Carolina. So I graduated from a high school, different high school than one I attended most of my high school career. So I will say there's legit reasons why someone might go from one high school to another. Mine was because my family moved. I'm going to tell you, anybody that has small kids, before you think about moving your children in high school years, as a person that's gone through it, I will sit here and tell you I do not feel like I got a high school home. because I the school I went to primarily I didn't graduate from, and the school I graduated from I went to for 1 year. I don't
Um,
have that connection, if you will.
but Todd had said he quit school. He didn't say his family moved or anything like that. I mean,
Right.
no, I mean my family moved around a lot when I was a kid too, and sometimes it would take me a couple of weeks to find them.
Well, my family made it kind of clear what they wanted me to do. One year for my birthday, they had a pack of luggage for me already packed. All right, let's not try to one up each other.
Is that like the Rodney Dangerfield? Like put a bone around your neck so that the dog would play with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, my family did that, but the dog still wouldn't play with me.
Our old one was we were so poor when we were kids that on Christmas I always hoped I'd wake up with a heart on so I'd have something to play with.
Oh, that was good. I don't care who you are. That was funny. All right. Thank you for that little comedy break. Why don't we keep going a little bit more?
Let's get back to suicide.
Actually, a lot of the patients don't beg for it.
Buckster. All right, Buckster. Let's keep going.
For the morphine, at least here in Arizona. I know about, the assisted suicide or humane euthanasia in California. I wish we had it here because a lot of times it's really hard to watch patients struggle, with their chronic illness or, just the death process. And
I'm sorry, I got to interrupt right now. I got left at the Grand Canyon.
Mhm.
Oh no, I think there's a story. Candace, you have to type the story up. You got to type it up. Send me an email. We'll read it.
Sounds like a Home Alone situation.
Yeah, it sounds like that.
20 miles down the road, somebody says, Candace, do you want another drink? And it's like, Candace. Somebody look under that blanket. Where's Candace?
Oh, Candace. Oh, look at that. Look at that.
Never saw it.
It's got the poopy on its head.
Hey, a retired crop can. I'm going to at least announce the state if that's cool with you. Where we're going to. That was a question asked earlier, and I'd see your message. Thank you very, very much about that. All right.
Yeah.
All right. They made her walk home. She won too many games.
Yeah.
All right. That's funny. Yeah, that's funny. No, what no. This is what really happens, guys. This is what really happens.
Maeve, what are you watching? Savage Secret Girl is covering Doofus Crest.
How much longer do you think she'll be live?
I don't know. Candace just asked for her to stay live while she drives home.
Another 12 hours.
That's what's going on there. I have to finish that one up. I'm gonna be making her a secret little promo for my channel. So, all right, we'll get back on this.
General and especially terminal restlessness, it's really hard to control. And we don't consider it, the lethal dose of morphine that they give. They just we consider it, that you got them into their comfort to where they could pass. We don't do lethal doses. A lot of people would be surprised to find out, that 5 milligrams of morphine every hour is pretty much the standard out here. It can go up to 20 milligrams per hour, but you have to remember is that it's sublingual, so they don't get the full, they only get about 20% of the dose that they're getting.
Wow, I did not know that. So in Arizona.
Little bully, you take care of yourself. Have a good day at work tomorrow. I feel for you. But I know how it is. I'm an early bird myself. I like to get up between 4:30 and 5 o'clock myself. So have a good day at work. Be safe out there. All right.
Arizona, they're not giving. So in my experience, at least in California, the lethal dose pre-existed our compassionate end of life act. I don't know
you guys are a
how
lot
later they did
different.
it.
Yeah, you guys are a lot different out there. You guys have the ability, for the, like you said, the humane euthanasia. You guys have that ability. So your end of life is a lot different than it is out here.
And my job in that process, so to make people familiar with it, you need 3 doctors to sign off in the state of California. And this has been challenged by religious groups. The Secretary of State actually challenged it when it first occurred, and I had a bunch of patients.
So I know this is going to go into a deep argument, but I will say this: for me, if it's a situation where we know that the person's going to get ready to go through a painful weeks, months of basically dying without any hope of being saved medically. I mean, religiously, I cannot agree with it. Morally, I cannot agree with it, but at the same time, I don't think it's my place to try to stop it, if that makes sense. I can maybe say, this is the way I feel, this is the way I feel about it, but at the end of the day, it's that person's decision. And that's kind of where I did what I can, and we'll go from there. Muxter, what you were getting ready to say something? I'm sorry.
No, I just said, yeah. No, I agree with you. I mean, you basically are describing pro, which I just forgot what I was going to say. But basically, pro-choice. Maybe I don't agree with having an abortion, but I don't feel it's my place to tell you what to do. Pretty much the same argument.
The problem comes in is when you have a slippery slope. I mean, I know up in Canada, if you break your arm, they can offer you euthanasia. I mean, where's the point? And I think the 3 doctor thing is a good thing, as long as they're not all the same 3 government doctors that want to see you gone. But that's the only point, is a slippery slope. You just don't want to go down that path unless it's absolutely necessary.
Right. And a little bit later, Dr. scrolls in and states, if it's a psychological issue, we don't want to go down that way. One reason I'm bringing it up, because I don't just want to make sure I say that, because I mean, that would be when those psychological issue, in other words, they're in pain, but the pain is depression, it's anxiety, it's whatever it is. It could be with a little work from the patient side, from a therapist side, from all those in that realm of things, could be conquered. And we're talking about people that pretty much when they're underneath secrets care, they're never going to leave secrets care until their last day on this earth. That's just the nature of hospice, to make the patient's last days a little easier.
And here's one of the things I always thought about is people have no problem taking their dog to the vet, and the vet puts him down because it's like, he's just going to be living in pain and all. And they go, yeah, it's the merciful thing to do. But then you want to leave granddad laying in bed. He doesn't recognize anybody. He's in constant pain and shitting himself. Yeah, how is that the moral thing to do? And it's just and my thing too with people that use the religious argument. It's like, well, you should leave it in God's hand. God decides when you go. If you're leaving it in God's hand, then that means turn off all the machines and don't give them any drugs. Because as soon as you take them to the doctor is screwing around with God's plan, right?
Hmm. Yeah, I mean that's a good way of putting it. Yes, that's very, very interesting and good way of putting it. Uh, like I said, it's just the way I see it in that certain circumstances. It's it's between really that person, their family, and possibly their religious leaders if they're religious people. Uh, and yes, if they ask, I'll state my opinion. But it's my opinion, and quite frankly, and that's why I would make sure they understand it's my opinion. And more likely, I'm probably absolutely nothing to you. You probably should be talking to your family. So, all
Yeah,
right,
putting a dog down was never an easy decision. At least if someone really
no,
loved their dog. That's
no,
a very difficult decision, also.
hmm very much so.
Well, so if you love the dog so much you want to see him in pain.
It's still not an easy decision,
Well, no, but most people say that's what's best for the dog.
right? Oh yeah, I mean we're not arguing about that. It's just that it's still not an easy decision. At the end of the day, that's usually what most people do, but it just tears them up because they have to make that decision. It's I don't want to have to make that decision for my cats, but if I have to, I would have to.
You know, it's kind of hard for them to make it for themselves.
Yeah, right, exactly. Uh, and Naybell, I'm glad you're still here. To answer your question, I'm not going to go into much specifics, but I will be in Kentucky on that weekend. I will be in Kentucky. Just and that is where I'm doing the live stream from on the road. So we'll be having fun with that. All right. So we'll play a little bit more out, man. We're getting a little deep here, man. We're getting real deep. This is good.
Well, I
It's a
mean,
nice little break.
look at what I mean. This isn't the typical stream snipe kind of a thing.
Well, yeah. I mean, we're having a very, very serious discussion. We're not making fun of anyone by no means. We are having a very, I mean, some of it, yes, we're pointing out faulty. We're pointing out faulty mindsets, but we're not trashing it beyond what it is.
Well, you know, the thing is too, when you are making that decision for your mother,
Mhm.
your wife, whoever it might be, too many people, they are thinking to themselves, I am not ready to let go.
And that is
And
going to
it's
be where the
not,
problem comes in.
yeah, and it's not supposed to be about you.
No, it's not.
You have to say what is best for them, what would they want. Yeah.
Michael, I know you're joking a little bit, and I'm just going to say this, sir. No, we're
No,
not
I was
committing
totally
just.
serious.
Oh no, no, I'm talking about Michael Wyatt's comment.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see.
Okay, yeah, that's okay. No worries, Michael. I know you're joking a little bit, but no, I would not make any attempts to drive by certain individuals' homes.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't have any reason to be out that way. That's just the best way to put it. Unlike, Rabbit, who had business in Lanesville, would have to drive down Main Street to get to that location and have to drive by that certain house. So, yeah, and that's kind of what I want to say there. I'm there to have a good time. I'm there to see the local sites. I'm there to have some fun, and at the same time, trying to entertain some folks and meet some people. That's the part I'm looking forward to, is meeting the people. It's going to be fun. I think I'm going to have a good time. Now here's hoping swag does not drive me back. Oh boy, that might be dangerous for me. All right, let's play a little more.
Patients who were put on hold, and it was miserable. It was horrible in that brief period of time where it was put on hold after it was passed. And in that experience, what I learned was it's really hard. It's very hard for family members. I would say in my experience, it doesn't matter how prepared you are. If you're familiar and you understand that decision, there's no emotional reaction that you can expect from any person. And one of the biggest problems in our society is expecting people to react differently. And one of those key indicators, one of the cues that you can tell somebody is suffering from something, is when you see somebody who's laughing. The biggest, and in my experience, the people who administer those circumstances, the people who are familiar with their family member or a loved one who's finally gone, they're torn through an ambivalent emotional experience where they're happy, they're sad, they're happy. And if somebody's depressed and they finally get the energy to do what they've longed to do for a very long time, I've not, even though people are like, oh, I never saw these signs, I've not met a single person who's reacted in the same way every single time. There's grief, there's remorse, there's anger, there's frustration. And if you're going to say that anger and frustration is not a reasonable experience for somebody whose significant other just took their life, you're wrong. You're just wrong.
One of the things that is being speculated and being opined, I use that in quotation marks, around this when it comes to unaliving yourself, is that everything is normal. Like, the reason why they're running with this narrative that Rabbit, unalived her, is because she talked about the future. She, she made doctor's appointments. She did things in the future. Can you tell us about how that is pretty typical?
Good Lord, Teresa. Oh, let's not get anything started. Let's not get anything started yet. Okay, come on. Yeah. What we got going on in the chat, guys? Y'all see what's going on? Oh, so Ben, I don't know what's the problem with it. If he wants to go over to Val's chat and then yuck it up a little bit, that's fine. I don't care. Is that what you're trying to do? Cause Michael Wyatt some trouble over here? Seriously, dude? I'm not freaking Todd Bryant. Just saying. Wow.
Yeah, so one of the things that I specifically use as indicators, because I'm not somebody who's just going to let a patient do this to themselves. My specific role in the process is to determine whether they're doing this because of a mental health disorder. We don't allow people to do this for a mental health disorder. Although it's not illegal, we don't actually want somebody who's suffering from a mental health disorder to take their own life. So we rule that out. Now, I kind of got distracted. Can you repeat the question?
Sorry, it's about how those who are going to end their lives, not in the humane.
I'm sitting there and I heard that part. I'm like, yeah, I know. That just told me right away. This guy's pretty darn intelligent. Easily get distracted because he's got so much information he wants to share. Just my opinion. I'm sure you guys got an opinion.
No, I thought he was good.
Yeah. Well, you've heard a good bit of it already. What do you think?
Yeah, everything you said makes sense so far.
Yeah. Oh yes. Definitely makes a lot of sense, and it's a lot of, really good stuff to listen to. Not just for this whole mess that's going on, but also just this subject area in general. Just saying.
euthanasia way, but in the general,
Right.
is that they act like they make plans.
Right. Okay. So yes, I remember now. So specifically, there's a big difference between value-oriented future plans and the actual just rudimentary elements of life. So at my practice, where I own and run the practice, I do not allow my supervised clinicians to utilize future doctor's appointments or future appointments at all to justify a protective factor in suicidality. There's a big difference between those things and somebody seeking a job that they've been looking for their whole life, or engaging in creative.
And real quick, thank you, Doug, for saying that. But yeah, quit attacking each other in the chat. Come on, if y'all don't like each other, don't say anything to each other. There's no need to. Seriously, no need to. Let's have a little bit of a civil discussion tonight.
Endeavors that are specific to their personal drive to live. There's a big difference between the rudimentary, specific functional elements of somebody's life and making DMV appointments and stuff like that. Now, we have specific risk factors that we identify if somebody is getting rid of their lifelong possessions, or they're doing specific things that are a little unusual for somebody in their stage of life to do. But we typically avoid conflating personal driven, future oriented things from the specific mundane doctor's appointments, dentist appointments, and those specific elements. And so I would say if somebody has future doctor's appointments, future appointments like at the DMV, future appointments at various unimportant, non-connected to their will to live, those are not indicators of safety elements. I have not lost myself specific patients to suicide that were not on my radar for that. And what I mean by on my radar, because I'm a health psychologist, it means that there are people who come in, they want to do this because of a terminal medical diagnosis. And I'll correct my language because I know I'm not used to being on a
No, you're okay.
broadcast. They take their life because of something that we give them the ability to do that for. And so when those people are in my office, they go through the motions. They spend their time doing it. Now, a specifically depressed person doesn't have the energy to do all of that. And one of the big key indicators is we warn against giving somebody a SSRI or a medication like Wellbutrin, which if you're familiar with what that is, it's a very different kind of antidepressant. And if somebody is very depressed and they have suicidal ideation, and you give them a medication that generates energy and volitional engagement, they are absolutely at a higher risk of completing that act. And it's super dangerous.
I have wondered about that for so long, that one of the risks they always have for antidepressants is suicidal tendency. Finally, somebody said something that made sense.
Yeah, if you look at the statistics,
and that is so good. I mean, I'm glad he talked about that a little bit. I really am. You just you hear these medication side effects, and when they start saying things like desire to harm yourself as one of the side effects, it makes you go, why? It's supposed to be treating this. How could it be making you want to hurt yourself? So, yeah. And I will say this, Innocent Altar, absolutely. RIP, Volume 1. Thank you, Innocent Altar, for saying that. Gentlemen, yep. Luxor, you basically said what I was thinking before as well. I tell you, medical practice, medicine in general, is a very interesting field, to say the least.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting field. And when he was talking about it, oh my gosh, it kind of brought some things better understanding. It's to the mindset of a person that's in that state of mind, and also the mindset of someone who suffered through that as a loved one. And I think one of the things we just have to understand. And thank you, Doug, for taking for that message. I appreciate it. So yes, it's very interesting. way of doing this. I'm glad I really came across this today because I had something else totally planned and was getting ready for it when I heard this with Dr. Scrolls talking tonight, last night, this morning, when I actually heard it. I'm like, this is actually valuable. It needs to be repeated. It needs to be said uh, as often as we can because people do need to hear this, not just for the line one situation, but also other situations that's out there
No,
that's going on. I'm sorry.
that's what I liked about it was it information a lot of people need to hear.
It is.
You know, if that wasn't all just about one person, and you know, people deal with this all the time, and they don't know what to do about it.
They don't. They absolutely do not know how to deal with it. They don't know how to get through this, and I would not know what to do. Earlier, he talked about the not wanting to seek help, and the truth is, yeah, if I was in rabbit shoes right now with my spouse doing something similar to what Line One did, I would not be asking anybody for help. I would not want to be. I would be when I came back to YouTube. I would try to be my old self, but I'm going to tell you, the moment I get off, the channel goes dark. I'll probably be in a corner, just barely getting by myself. You would not hear me asking for help. It's just that's probably one of the hardest things I can do is ask for help. And I think that's true with a lot of men, with a lot of people. Now, Muxter, you said it earlier, it's a sign of weakness. And in all actuality, it's probably exactly the opposite. But still, probably one of the hardest things I could do is to ask for it. Muxter, well, I mean, your thoughts?
Just pretty much in agreement. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
not sure I have anything to add that hasn't been said.
Oh, dang it. I'm going to have to work harder.
I can add something to that. It's even harder if you have people that are trying to goad you to hurt yourself by just being vindictive and just crazy.
Yeah.
That's not helping anyone.
And, you know, luckily, most people who's going through what Rabbit's going through is not dealing with that aspect of it.
Yeah.
Rabbit should not be dealing with that aspect neither. The rabbit should not be having to deal with that. That just says a lot about the individuals that's doing it. Truthfully, I feel like one's just going to do whatever his people he wants to impress wants them to do. One's doing it because of pure hatred toward the rabbit, and also probably grift some money out of it. The no one, he just flat out doesn't like rabbit, and yes, I think he's doing it for grifting and maybe even trying to spread his misery. The other one, well, I mean, right now he's 100% behind what behind GS, but if that ever changes, I mean, let's face it, we might as well start calling him Flip Flop Finkel, because if he ever changes his loyalty, it's almost guaranteed he's going to be off GS bad camp all of a sudden. So, and when whoever's camp he's there, he decides that person's wrong, then that person's wrong too. It seems that's the kind of thing that he does. Again, these are my thoughts, what I believe to be based upon observations. They're my opinions. They're by no means me stating that this is 100% accurate. I'm just saying my opinion is this is what I think is going on with those individuals. And based upon what I observed and based upon my life experiences. All right. So, yes, luckily, most people would not have to go through what Rabbit's going through as far as that aspect of it is. I'll keep on playing a little bit more.
Over 75% of the people who end their own lives every single
Are
year,
on an SSRI.
they're on an SSRI, and they often have an anxiety disorder. It is far more likely that the OCD, which is my specialty, OCD is the single biggest diagnosis for people who commit that action. Not depression, not anything else. It exists on the World Health Organization's top 10 most debilitating conditions for that exact reason. And depression often requires an outside intervention. It requires something that generates the will to do that.
Wow. I did not get to this part yet when I was listening to it. When Secret went live this afternoon, I went over to the actual live stream and watched that as I was continuing to work. Or I use that word loosely. Probably a better choice of word would be listen to it as I continue to work. So I did not hear that part about OCD being the biggest diagnosis of anyone that would done that action to themselves. That's something I never thought of. Huckster, did you hear that before, or was that last night the first time you heard it? Or Wally?
Yeah, I've never heard OCD as far as diagnoses for that sort of thing. That's a new one on me.
Yeah, that one is new on me, but based upon what he was saying, makes sense. It makes absolute sense because an OCD person really wants things to be perfect all the time, and we live in the real world. We know it's not going to be perfect. It's kind of like I come with the approach in things like make it good, but get it out on time, not make it perfect and be a little late. It's best to be on time with something, but make it good and then fix it as you need to. Because you're never going to get the things to be perfect. It's just never going to happen. Good example is that promo that I played earlier. There's some areas that needs to be improved. Things that we spot right away. And it will be fixed and addressed at a later time. I'm not going to do it right now. It's not my I got other things I want to get done. I want to get done at least 2 weeks before I go to Kentucky. And those things are almost done, but I have to make sure they're done. So just and me getting tied up on the that person was holding the drink tray wrong. It's just not a good idea. Just my 2 cents. Buster, are you still with us, sir? Okay. Well, I'll keep going.
And there's a big difference. I want to address this because what you said, Savage, there's a big difference between somebody who's suffering from a terminal medical illness and somebody who's just suffering from depression. The key elements of these things are hugely different. And if somebody is sick and they're dying, or they're sick and they can't do what actually generates their will to live, there's a far greater likelihood that these people will actually go through with the process. Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes complete sense. There is also a lot of times and that I have been through quite a few unalivings, and almost, and especially like with.
And just for your entertainment, a very good point. It is real. You're absolutely right. It is real. And yes, the lies and the story changing is the problem. And that makes people question what really happened. I Yeah, the story changing seems to be on the people that's trying to introduce the idea of something else happening other than what really happened. Well, what was reported in the police reports and the coroner's reports, and it does seem to be changing often, in that side of the things. And exactly right. If we do see soccer counts, we will actually send them out. Well, that's a person I haven't seen in a while in my chats. Well, hey, Fist Teach of Peace, how you doing?
Rabbit going through it with his wife is that there were a lot of times people have said that, Rabbit kept her alive longer than she had planned. Can that be, something? Because I've also heard that about the people that I knew. Can that,
That I think a better way to reframe that is
Mhm.
that the person endured far more suffering than they wanted to because of how much they cared about other people, right? It would be.
All right, so Innocent Alter asked a question. Do they have questions? Do they matter? Well, here's the thing: if they have questions, why are they not addressing it with the investigators? Why they're not properly talking to the rabbit? Why are they bringing it all through YouTube? Yes, those questions matter, but there's a correct procedure way of doing it. Bringing it up on YouTube, not so much.
Be absurd to give the power over somebody's life to somebody who didn't participate in ending their life, right? We would hope, and I'm not a religious person at all, Todd, if you want to jump that in there, but we would give people the
Rabbit, I'm glad to see you here. Yeah, good point. There are some aspects of lying to one's life I'm not aware of. I've heard some things about, but not 100% know what's going on with that. Why would a drunk fool who claims best friend status when my wife called her a pathetic drunk? None of them matter. And that's kind of why I'm pointing out to Innocent Alter. I don't think they are best friends. If you really think about it, because what did they do? They ran to YouTube. They ran over to Todd and said, "Let me tell you my story. We were the bestest of friends." But here's the man that was married to a woman that said, "Hey, she didn't like her." So I was answering the question more generally and not more specific toward line one, if that makes sense. If you know exactly what I mean, I hope that makes sense to everyone.
Place, right, to choose what they want for themselves. And if we give people the volition and the personal agency to make decisions for themselves, we would say that they found probably hope in somebody else. They found will in somebody else. And again, we find it very problematic for somebody to to end their own life because of a mental health disorder, because we view those as very repairable. In my world, I'm often the last person. So this is probably very important. I have many patients who ask this question all the time. Can I just end my life? And again, I see very high acuity OCD patients, and I tell them, no, you're not allowed to. And they're like, why? Other people are allowed to. And I say, listen, what you have has a very easy cure. It's not gonna. When I say it's easy, it's not gonna be easy for you, but it's a bright golden path like the yellow brick road. We know how to solve this problem. We know what OCD is, and there are very specific treatments that involve, and for those who wonder what that is, it's exposure and response prevention. Essentially, we have to expose the person to the really feared stimulus over and over again and teach them that it's safe. They learn to habituate themselves. And in reality, you're not going to find this in your normal mental health practice. And I want to be very clear. I am not your normal mental health provider. I am a board certified advanced clinical psychologist. If I said my specialties, people would be able to identify myself because I sit at an intersection that very few people sit at.
You're
And the reality is that when somebody asks a question about that, the risk factor drops significantly. If you hear people who are willing to talk to you about that, I'm much less concerned. And I deal with very, very high acuity patients, so a lot of suicidal ideation. And I'm not going to speak to exactly like this.
Robert, check your text, please. There's a lot of these good points. I'm thinking I'm starting with a little bit of hornet's nest in the side chat there. Just saying.
Yeah, it looks like people are a little worked up.
Yeah. And here's the thing: they're not really listening to what's being said by Dr. Scrolls. They're bringing it back to line one. They're bringing it back to something that because individuals who has a personal grievance against all right, they're bringing up a personal grievance of people with personal grievance against Rabbit, who's doing that, like I said, for the sole purpose of to torment Rabbit. And it's crappy. It's crappy. They're not. I mean, I thought, we could be mature and try to have a responsible conversation. And apparently, these people, these sick individuals, will not even let us do that.
Yeah, I was afraid this was going to spiral down to I hate this one, I hate that one situation, which, is not part of the real topic.
No, it's not. It's not about part of the real topic, but yet they want to make it what it is, what's not. And so okay, I'm going to just flat out say it. Ryder, Todd Bryant, Stephen Finkel, Tyrants Beware, whether it's Terry Moore or Josh Newsom, you can't tell with that guy. Russell Pickering, but although he backed off, I will give him that. In my belief, are intentionally lying to you, and they know they're lying to you. Just saying. That's my belief. And they know they're doing it. We're talking about one of these guys was filing false paperwork with courts. Another one was a victim of such paperwork and yet still says, oh, he's 100% right. And is that the people you think is right about this? And we're going, and on this side, I hate to use that word, this side, we're looking at the freaking police reports. We're looking at the freaking medical examiners. That's the only thing we have right now. And I doubt anything new is going to come that would suggest anything different. I'm sorry, high school dropouts are not smarter than medical examiners who went through med school. They're not better police detectives than investigators that's been doing it for years. And if you choose to go that route and believe that route, then I'm not going to sit here and try to reason with you. I can't. Because you want to live in a fictional world where there's a conspiracy around you all the time. Not everything is a conspiracy. Not everything is a conspiracy. Sometimes things are what they really, truly do seem. Probably more times than you realize. When you start thinking everything's a conspiracy, you'll always find a conspiracy. And that means there's really not one. Sorry, my 2 cents. And it's a little frustrating because this is actually a very good discussion right here that we're trying to get more out of. Oh, shoot. Really? Ben Jones, who played Cooter, passed away? Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Well, that's sad. All right. All right. I'll keep going a little bit.
The circumstances that I've had, but there have been people in my office who say, "Hey, I'm going to kill myself tonight," or "I'm going to end my life tonight." Sorry. And you know, I talk to them, I hear them, and I'm like, listen, what do you want from me? What do you want from the world? What are you missing right now? Why are you at this acuity level? Because I'm not scared that you're actually going to do this, because you're talking to me about this, and it's a cry for help. And so if you have somebody who's willing to talk about their psychological process in these moments, it's very, very, very unlikely. So the people around them consistently say, I had no idea. I didn't have an idea. And that is by design, because people who have the energy and are actually going to go through with it, they're very fearful of talking to other people. They actually are engaging in plans that will ruin things that are very important to them. And so it's important to know that nobody around them, Rabbit, nobody around somebody who's actually going to go through with this is going to see these signs, because the person is hiding it with every single thing that they have. Imagine you have loved ones, you have people you care about, you have so many people around you, and none of those people want to see this happen, and you feel horrible about trying to make it happen. The amount of shame and guilt that occurs in that person expounds. And so if you're berating and criticizing somebody because their loved one was able to do this action, you're wrong. You're absolutely 100% wrong. There is nobody left behind who should be castorized and should be lambasted in front of the public crowd because their wife, their loved one took their own life and they did not do something about it, because that person spent
I'm sorry. I was muted. I was muted. I'm sitting there going, Monster, your thoughts, please.
I don't know. I'm
I
just
mean,
kind of.
yeah,
I think I'm just getting tired of the whole.
it's getting exhausting.
Yeah.
Oh, and it is. And the reason why it's getting exhausting is that people really are trying to find a conspiracy.
Yeah.
And there's not a conspiracy there. There's not one. Nothing has been produced to suggest anything differently than what has been out there. Don't say, well, Terrence Beware did. No, Terrence Beware, even the first 5 minutes of Fraud Watches analysis of that reenactment video, he kind of threw that thing apart with one simple thing. The shell casing was on the other side of the bed from where Terrence Beware said it was. And that kind of threw all of Terrence Beware's theory out the door. That's just that simple. It just threw it. This whole speculative BS that someone I sit here, I call it a hypocrite, because I do believe him to be a hypocrite. Someone who likes to call people demons who differ from their opinion. A person who will come into their chats and start fussing them because how dare they bring someone who has a difference of opinion from him. Wants to persecute someone because all that individual did if you really think about it, was keep that man while he was in North Carolina from getting arrested and probably still be in prison in North Carolina today, or worse, by not letting him go into his camper and get his pew pew. To this day, I've said this before, I'll say it again. Todd Bryant should be thanking the rabbit for not letting him do something stupid, because he was getting ready to do something stupid that night. Instead, what did Rabbit get for his troubles? This BS, this bullshit. And if nothing ever happened to Lion One, it would have been something else. Dub, I do agree with you on that. I really, truly do. I'm going to play a little bit more. I'm going to look at something real quick.
All of their energy to try to hide it from the other person. Because if we even smell it with the slightest amount, every single state in this country will put you away for 3 days. In California, we call that a 5150. In Florida, it's called the Berry Act, right? I think, I don't practice in Florida, but I'm pretty familiar with Bam Margera. And
well, he's not quite right. It's actually the Baker Act here in Florida. Just and to my understanding, he did make that correction in the comment later. But just for sake, just making sure. Does it really matter? Nah, not really. Just want to correct it. That's all.
And these cases that occur, some states are really problematic in this process, and people know that, especially people who are finally successful. So the leading theory on suicidality is called the Joyner model. This was developed by Thomas Joyner. If anyone wants to look at this, Thomas Joyner proposes that thwarted belongingness, perceived isolation, and the acquired capability to commit self-harm are required for a person to be successful in suicide. And so that means nobody is going to end their own life unless they've met these characteristics. And that means you have to believe that you're a burden on every single person that you care about. You have to believe that nobody is connected to you and understands your life in any stretch of the any stretch of your imagination. You just completely view every single thing that they do as isolating you, and it's probably because of that perceived burdensomeness. And then on top of that, we all have a natural instinct for preservation of our own life. And because of that, you just can't do this. You have to engage in something to minimize these factors. Now, I've certainly experienced people who use alcohol to a great extent to completely remove the acquired capability for self-harm, but the modal amount of times that somebody attempts to end their own life is 2, and the vast majority of people who actually did that process is they did it on the 3rd try, and it would be very, very hard to find exceptions to that example who were not completely inebriated on alcohol or some other substance at that time.
And that's
so I think that we're at that good point now with stopping. I will not keep this one going. I think there's a little bit too many people getting heated in the chat. I don't want this. I was hoping that this would be a responsible discussion. Certain individuals who are fans of certain YouTube channels cannot allow sensible conversations to occur. I do apologize to those that may have been attacked in this chat. I know that my mods worked hard to keep it in line, so I do appreciate my mods. They are very important to me. So thank you very much. I do know that some people manifestation of peace. I have no problems with you in my chat as long as you behave. I just want to I've never had any real issues with you. Let's put it that way. But this is like the first time in the longest time I've seen you in my chat. I think you first maybe came into my chat maybe one time or two times when I first started, but that's been a long time ago. Muxer, you want to add anything? Or Wally?
Yeah, I want to kind of give a baseline here. You know,
Certainly, go for it.
I don't hate these other people. They're too insignificant for me to hate them. But at the same time, not hating them doesn't mean they should be allowed to keep abusing, harassing, and hurting other people. So it's not coming from a hate perspective. It's coming from just a right and wrong perspective.
I think that's a good way of putting it. Yes, it's the right wrong. You get it's the actions that we're getting upset about. It's the actions that they're doing. It's their way of handling criticism. They don't handle criticism well. They've shown it too many times. They don't handle it well. If they get criticism, they can't handle it. And that's pretty much anyone that I may have listed that we've identified as being on that side. So I'm going to have to start doing this, I think, from between now and, well, I'm going to end it up here tonight. Tomorrow night, we should have cookies and milk with Dr. K. Farr. Don't know what we might be talking about. There's a lot of interesting things coming out in the pop culture side of things that be interesting things to discuss. Something else that's coming out real soon on HBO Max that I would love us dive into as well as in that discussion. So that should be a fun, lighthearted stream for us geeks and nerds. But that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and hit the end stream. We'll, if you two want to hang out for a moment and let's chit chat, that'd be great. And until next time, take care of yourself. Good night.
Well, the night's grown quiet, the story's all told. The fire's burning down to embers and gold. Your glass is near empty, your laughter still rings from the jokes and the truth and the wild little things. We sang for the fighters, we laughed at the fools. We bend just a bit, but we don't break the rules. From tall tales to truths that cut clean to the bone. You were never quite here, but never alone. So raise up your glass, let the good times stay close to the friends that you made and the ones you need most. When the lights all go dim and the last cause in sight, we'll be waiting right here for another good night. Now Doc's told his stories, the truth's had its say, and the world can go spin just a little its way. From madness to meaning, from chaos to cheer, there's always a seed and a story right here. So wherever you wander, wherever you roam, may you find a good fire and call it your home. And remember these words as you walk out the door. Until next time, take care of yourself. So raise up your glass, don't be facing the night with a heart that's too heavy or dimming your light. 'Cause the stories ain't over, they're just getting rest, and the next one might just be the borrowed.
Did anybody get any tips tonight?
Nope. Swag left me his phone number. Still wasn't a tip.
Tim didn't leave me a tip either. Ladies, we're AI. Nobody tips AI.